The intimation is strong in this one. Welcome back. What is up, SPNFamily and YouTube family? Wolf420 returning once again with another irrelevantly late supernatural review. Season 15, episode number 7, entitled Last Call. So we get a brief recap showing Sammy Potter resurrecting Eileen, and Cass leaving, and the Dean-style pep talk from Dean last week. Then we open on a scene of a girl escorting a drunk girl from a bar, and soon the drunk girl runs off to Upchuck, and her friend vanishes. And we cut away from drunk girl shouting for her friend, and we show drunk girl's friend in a cellar, bound up, with a blood tap. I'm thinking vamp. And then we see a freaky creature from the Black Lagoon looking thing in a caged door with a blood tap on. Okay, not a vamp. And the girl screams bloody murder at the sight of the thing. And bam! We cut to the intro logo. And we open on a scene of empty beers surrounding Dean while he searches for a case. He finds one, and he's on the move. And then we cut to Sam and Eileen laughing and making a full breakfast spread together. As Dean enters, Dean tells them he is going out and laughs because Sam and Eileen are hungover. And then they try to get him to eat, but he actually turns it down. Eventually, Dean heads out after teasing Sam for a bit about getting it on with Eileen. Dean tells Sam that he wants to take a drive and clear his head for a while, and tells Sam to have fun with Eileen. Sam and Eileen think maybe Dean is getting better now, because he actually wants to get out for once. And we cut to Dean rolling into town. Dean interviews the sheriff about the case he's working, and the sheriff seemed rather odd to me, but I guess nothing became of it. Either the actor was very hammy, or they just had him act like that to show just how bad an actor the sheriff was. And it's probably the latter. The sheriff wasn't very helpful, but he gave Dean another lead to look into. The sheriff told Dean to go be an actor in Hollywood because he has the look. So Dean goes to Swayze's bar. That's great. It's the Roadhouse, basically, and it's called Swayze's, who starred in the Roadhouse. Yeah, and that was a badass scene in Roadhouse when Swayze ripped out that motherfucker's throat. Yeah. So Dean starts looking for the drunk girl who reported her friend missing, and the waitress wants Dean bad. Dean sees a guy on stage singing, and he says his name, and the guy finishes his set, and Dean approaches him. The words son of a bitch. I think they're used in every episode. And every time you hear it, you think about one of so many great scenes from the past years. You know, it's great. So it turns out these two are old friends. And the guy even knows that Dean's a hunter. And he owns the bar, so it's time to drink. And we cut to Sam and Eileen looking at each other fondly while conversating and gazing soulfully at one another. It's a fine ship. Now let's just see how long it lasts in this torrid sea of infinite despair. And as Sam and Eileen are actually about to get busy, Cass walks in. Sam says, "What the chuck, Cass, blocking me like that?" Nah, just playing. As much as Sam probably secretly hates Cass in a loving way right now, he rushes over to see him, glad to be reunited. Reunited? Anyways, and Eileen eyes Cass like she would like to jump him too, but mad because she got blocked. Nah, but Eileen is hungry, boy. But you know, she just got out the joint and, I don't know, resurrected as well, so yeah. Anyways, we continue on from there, and Sam introduces Eileen to Cass, and when Cass asks wasn't she dead, she says she got better. That's funny. Cass said he was back and asked where Dean was, and Sam told him that Dean went for a drive. Sam tells him they've been searching for Chuck and Lilith, and Cass was surprised to learn of the return of Lilith, but not that surprised. Cass says to Sam he thinks the God Gun shot some of Sam inside of Chuck, and Eileen says, ew. That shit's funny right there. Some scenes in this episode, boy, has some strong innuendo. That's great. So we cut away to Dean and his old friend drinking at Swayze's, playing some catch-up and reminiscing a bit. And apparently, the old friend is a former hunter who got out. So we cut away from there to Sam and Cass in the med wing of the bunker, talking about the wound. Cass is unable to heal it, but he might be able to probe it. I should have done an innuendo counter for this episode. Something that just goes, bing, and shows a number for each innuendo dropped. That would have been funny shit. So, Cass probes Sam Hull, ping, in the shoulder, from the God gun. And then Sam gets blown across the room and loses consciousness, and we cut away from there. So we cut to Cass trying to call Dean, but Dean's phone is in a basket full of phones for the Roadhouse party. And Dean is drinking with his old buddy, and the waitress is eyeing Dean like a great big steak. And we cut to Cass calling the shaman from last season, the one who he tried to get to help Jack before and got screwed by. And he tells him that if he don't help Sam, he will burn him alive. Nice. And then Cass makes another phone call saying he needs help. And then we cut to Dean drinking and reminiscing still, and they mention a lot of great stuff, like the ghost sickness. That was funny. And then Dean and his old friend sing. His buddy tells him he can't just lip sync Eye of the Tiger when you think nobody's watching. Great call out to the same ghost sickness episode. So together they sing Just the Good Old Boys. That was a good rendition. Yeah. And soon there's trouble in the bar. A couple of big guys are harassing a girl. Dean and his friend throw them out like nothing, and it turns out this is the girl who is Dean's next lead, in fact. And then we cut to Sergey, the shaman, arriving at the bunker and awestruck by it. And he checks out Sam and says, yeah, he is dying. And then we cut to Dean interviewing the drunk girl from the opening segment. Then the old friend decides to work the case with him, but is skeptical because the girl's not very reliable. After disagreeing whether the car is in the lake or the wrecking yard, Dean decides him and his friend should split up and check both places. And then we cut to Cass and Sergey. And Sergey says the wound goes down to Sam's soul and eventually will snap and kill him. And then we cut to Dean at the scrapyard, and he finds drunk girl's missing friend's body and her car, and then Dean's friend ambushes him. Well, what the chuck? That's shitty. And we cut away from there to Sam in a coma and Sergey spreading shaman healing herbs on Sam's godgun hole. But it turns out the herbs actually made it worse, and Sam starts having visions of Chuck's memories as he is about to die. I've heard of your life flashing before your eyes, but Chuck's life? Damn. So, Sergey wants something called the Black Key that opens Death's library, and Eileen is a feisty one. But Cass has a plan in motion, holding Sergey's family hostage. Holy shit, Cass. He has a dark side this right now. It's understandable, though. Cass is pissed. So, he gets Sergey to heal Sam's coma. The wound is still there, but Sam's okay for the moment. And then we cut to Dean in the cellar, and his old friend Lee tells him that he's faced hardships and it's changed him. And Lee leaves Dean to be blood-tapped to feed the monster called a Merid, and feeding it gives you money and health. But Dean busts out and kills it, and he tosses his head into the bar right in front of Lee. Badassery. And it was intense how Lee said he woke up and saw that the world was broken, and Dean told him to fix it then and fight. You don't walk out. Lee tried to get him to call it even, and Dean says, I can't, I kill monsters, even when I don't want to. Then him and Lee have a heck of a fight for a minute, but Dean wins and loses yet again, and we cut away from there, and Dean returns to the bunker, and we show Sam telling Dean, Cass, and Eileen that he saw Chuck's memories. Chuck is weakened, and they might be able to win the fight. And we cut away from there, leaving hype for the next episode. So, that was a solid episode. The innuendos were strong in this one at times. Kinda funny. And good job building hype. So that'll be Wolf 420 logging off. let's hear some of your thoughts below. Like it if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more, and always keep fighting. Have an awesome day. Be excellent to each other. And as always, people, peace out.